Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg with Cloudcast Media. Going to be listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, nation's longest running community podcast in our 20th year. Honored to be brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, 60 plus years of doing great things in the community, whether it's working with folks dealing with food insecurity, Alzheimer's, the arts. It's a big cause. They're going to be involved. Honored to have in the studio the Girl Scouts San Diego. Sandra Appling is the Director of Product Programs and Customer Experience and the Delegate Liaison, joined by her colleagues Ellie Siemens and Annette Rodriguez. They are Girl Scout National Delegates. I'm joined by my longtime friend and colleague. This guy's a real cool cat. He's Neville Billamoria, Chief Marketing Officer for Mission Fed, but he is a board member for Girl Scouts San Diego. Welcome one and welcome all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. I'll start with you on this, Sandra, and then we're gonna pivot over to Elle and to Annette, and definitely want to have Neville chime in. What's the mission of Girl Scouts San Diego?
Yeah, the mission of Girl Scouts San Diego is to build girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place.
Now, were you a Girl Scout?
I was. I was a Girl Scout from second grade through high school.
Okay, very, very good. And Elle, how long have you been a Girl Scout?
I've been a Girl Scout from the start of kindergarten to all the way through my senior year. So that's about 12, 13 years, I'd say.
Okay, and what are you doing right now?
Right now, I am a Girl Scout National Delegate, but I'm still continuing on with Girl Scouts as a Girl Scout volunteer. And then I'll be starting school at San Diego State University studying mechanical engineering.
Aztec for life, as I am, on this aspect of it. How about you, Annette? When did you start?
Well, I like to joke that ever since I was born, my grandma and my mom were Girl Scouts, and they had a troop when I was born, so I was just kind of already into it. So yeah, ever since my 18 years of life.
Very, very good. And where are you in high school now? Are you in college?
I'm a senior.
Okay, and where you go?
I go to Mater Dei Catholic High School.
Okay, oh, that's great. Great school over there. Neville, how long have you been involved with the Girl Scouts, either as a supporter or as a board member? You've got a daughter. Was your daughter a Girl Scout?
Yeah, so Mission Fed built a partnership with Girl Scouts several years ago. I think it's at least been 8 years ago. We were trying to be inclusive and supportive of young women. And again, the character piece really matters, the ethos. And so along the way, yes, I was man enough to become a Girl Scout board member. And it's been a great honor. I'm currently part of the executive committee. And so I get to provide some construct around how we can support beyond just financially.
Well, listen, I mean, there are just so many touch points of what the Girl Scouts do and have done for many, many, many years. We were a Girl Scout family, thank you very much. And Jane was a Girl Scout mom. I know that because I couldn't park my car in the garage during Cookie Week and all that business. And then been doing that, knows what that means in this aspect of it. But this is sort of an interesting time. Talk a little bit about, Sandra, about Girl Scout National Delegates and the National Council session. What's that all about?
Yeah, so Girl Scouts of the USA has a democratic process. And so each council, there's 111 councils throughout the country. Each of them elects national delegates to be the representatives at the National Council session. This is the Girl Scout convention that's held every 3 years. Our delegates are our voice to the national movement and the national organization. So this is the place where they get proposals, and they spend about 6 months going over proposals that are going to impact the nationwide movement. And then these girls, along with the other 10 delegates that we had, were able to go to the National Council session. There were about 975 voting members within that. They walked up to those microphones ready and prepared to talk about the impacts that they saw that these proposals would make if they were adopted or not adopted. And then each of them has an individual vote that they get to be part of this democratic process that is making a difference in the future of our movement. Such an incredible experience.
So there's 975 delegates, is that right?
Approximately, yeah.
Right. And so San Diego gets 10, 12?
We have 12. So the delegate distribution is based on membership.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And as your membership grows, you get more delegates, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Where is San Diego in terms of the size of a delegation? Are they one of the bigger ones in the country?
We are on the larger end. We are not one of the largest, but we are on the larger end. The San Diego Council is considered a large council, and so we do have a larger number of delegates.
Right, okay. So, Elle, when you were chosen to be a delegate, do you sit there and talk to the leadership of Girl Scouts San Diego and say, I want to be a delegate, or they choose you? How does that work?
So they choose us. The first step in becoming a delegate is applying, and we release those applications every 3 years. And when I saw the application, I was super excited, super interested in just applying and hopefully getting started. And then after that, you have an interview. And that interview, it's really cool. You interview with someone who's running the delegates, but I interviewed with a Girl Scouts board member, which was awesome. And then after that, I believe they vote on who they want to see as a delegate based off the interview results. And then you get to see if you became one or not.
Right. Okay. And so, Annette, when you became one, what was your first thoughts? Oh my gosh, what have I got myself into?
Oh my gosh, no, my first thought was like, this is a dream. I mean, being able to give back to the organization that gave so much to me, even just being the one in 975 meant the world to me. This organization means the world to me. And being a part of the process and the rules and the delegation that future Girl Scouts are going to come into was such an honor.
Right. So Sandra, the recent one was July 20th to 25th, right?
Yes.
In DC. Is it always in DC or?
It's not. It rotates every triennium. Every 3 years, it'll rotate to a different location.
Okay. And so, Neville, does the board get involved? You're on the executive committee of Girl Scouts San Diego. Do you guys get involved at all? Do you get feedback from Sandra, Elle, and Annette? How does that work? Or they keep you out of the process?
No, we're we're involved just enough to be dangerous, but really it's the topics that matter most that we want to understand and provide some guidance on where we stand vis-a-vis, either critical topics or sensitive topics. But at the end of the day, they're the folks making the votes and decisions and doing the homework to really understand them. To the point that you heard earlier, they really bone up on this stuff. I mean, I'm here to learn as much as I'm here to contribute today because they're the experts on the subject.
Well, it also makes you a better board member, too, when you see what's going on, not just from a local, but from a national standpoint. We are chatting with our friends of Girl Scouts San Diego. Sandra Applings is the Director of Product Programs and Customer Experience and Delegate Liaison, joined by her colleagues Elle Siemens and Annette Rodriguez, Girl Scout National Delegates, just got back from D.C. A few weeks ago, joined by Neville Villamoria is Girl Scouts board member. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, as you listen to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community show. So I'm fascinated by this. I'll start with you on this, Sandra, and then we'll pivot over to Elle and Annette. So the topics, have they been decided? The convention was the 20th and 25th of July. When does Elle and Annette hear the topics we need to look at?
Yeah, so how this whole process works is our delegates are elected to a 3-year term. So their first year is really preparing for and understanding the proposals at the upcoming convention. Year 2 is a lot of education to our members. And then year 3, they're actually looking at what proposals do they want to put forward for the next convention. graduation. So they're going to have an opportunity to say, this is what I've learned over the past 2 years, and these are the things that I think is going to make an impact on our movement going forward, and we should be voting on them in 2029.
Right. So there's a twofold thing where they're actually voting on proposals for July, okay? And then here are the things we should move forward in 3 years?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll put you on the spot just a little bit, but you guys can handle this. I'll start with you on this, Elle. Was there a proposal that just jumped out at you and said, man, that is a great proposal. It's what we should be doing, and I'm all in on it?
The final proposal that we talked about was about licensing agreements and how this affects not only the Girl Scouts, but the Girl Scout cookie program. And this proposal definitely interested me because that is something that we are known for. And I'm glad we really got to discuss about it. And we even voted to have additional time to discuss about it. And it was just an amazing experience to be able to hear everyone's point of views and perspectives, whether they agreed with this proposal or not. And it was unforgettable.
What was the ultimate vote?
The vote was to forward it to the national board and have them discuss on it for now.
Okay, so there wasn't a decision made on which way you were going to do on that. Okay, very good. And for you, Annette, were there some proposals that you thought just weren't quite there yet, or it needed some work, or you liked all the proposals?
Well, there was one. It was about membership dues that I wasn't all in favor from. It was a sensitive topic for me growing up in a low-income community and in my low-income Girl Scout troop. It was very sensitive. I saw a lot of girls get a lot of help from Girl Scouts, and a lot of girls that it saved them. Like, Girl Scouts really saved them and took them so many places that they couldn't go without. So I feel like that one was a little sensitive for me, but all in all, it just turned into passion and motivation to dig deeper and go to the mic more.
So then on that one, on the membership dues, what was the ultimate vote? Or was that also tabled?
No, the ultimate vote didn't go our way, but we have so much trust in the National Council and in Girl Scouts San Diego that, I mean, they're the organization that loves every Girl Scout. We know we mean the world to them, so we have complete trust in them and what they're going to do.
Right, so now you folks have done your 3 years, is that correct? Or not? You're still in, what year are you in of your 3 years?
We're in our first year.
Oh, first year. Okay, first year. So you have 2 more years to go. Okay, very good. And so then, Sandra, at the end of that third year, are you starting to now recruit new delegates?
Yes. So at the end of those 3 years, well, probably about 6 months before these delegates are wrapping up, we will be putting applications out for new delegates to join the group.
Okay, when we come back from break, we're going to continue the conversation of what it takes to be a delegate and how important it is also for the impact on local. We'll be thinking about that when we return with Sandra Appling, Director of Product Programs and Customer Experience and Delegate Liaison for Girl Scouts San Diego, joined by 2 Girl Scout National Delegates, Elle Siemens and Annette Rodriguez. Also joining us is Neville Villamoria. He is a Girl Scouts Executive Board member. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by our fine sponsor, Mission Fed Credit Union. We'll be right back after this very short break.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.com. girlscouts.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, got the Girl Scouts San Diego in the house, Sandra Appling, Director of Product Programs, Customer Experience, and Delegate Liaison, joined by two Girl Scout National Delegates, Elle Siemens and Annette Rodriguez, joined by also Neville Villamoria, Chief Marketing Officer for Mission Fed and a Executive Board Member for Girl Scouts San Diego. So Neville, you've been involved with the Girl Scouts for how many years?
Gosh, I knew you were going to ask me that. I don't remember. It's at least 4.
At least 4 years, okay. But is this, so is this your second go-around at a convention? Do you get to go to the convention, by the way?
Oh, no.
Okay, all right. No board members at the convention on this. What have you learned from, but you were involved sort of, you knew about what was going on in the first convention, right?
Yeah, so I mean, I just want to riff on a couple of things these guys brought up. Think about the two topics they both raised, right? Licensing agreements. The Cherished Cookie program and the Girl Scouts brand is something that they should own and have complete control over. So when they get co-opted by third parties that want to make a cookie or an ice cream or whatever the heck it is, uncool. So someone has to stand up for the branding, right? Similarly, the membership dues. Hey, on the one hand, there's the business realities that costs are going up. So how do you make sure that you can meet the business objectives, but still make it accessible and affordable for young people so they can actually have the kind of experiences Annette was speaking of that otherwise they would not have benefit from? These are complex decisions and complex topics, and here we are at 18, 19-year-olds struggling with them in a very healthy and productive way. I think that's really models some of the values that you heard from Sandra about courage and confidence and character. I mean, it's going down right in front of our faces right here.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, what's great to watch a process, okay? And in some ways, being civic-minded and all this, you're setting up a tone for Girl Scouts moving forward and all this aspect of it. But let me ask you this. I'll start with you on this one here, Elle. When you folks, there's 12 of you that are delegates, right? Mm-hmm. Do you vote as one block, or can you have disparate views? Like, listen, Annette doesn't quite agree with you on the membership, but somebody else does. How does that work?
So based off our many meetings and months of preparation, I would say we all kind of have streamlined views, but in the actual convention, when we are voting, we have these little almost kind of old flip phones, and we can vote individually whether we agree or not. So if any of us changed our mind, we'd be able to vote and just speak our minds, honestly.
So you could literally, so the delegation could be split on what this is. And you don't get, do you get to talk collectively as a delegation to say, here's how I feel back and forth?
Mm-hmm. We're able to do that. So throughout the business meetings, we're able to do that and kind of converse on our whole opinions on what's going on. But even before, we were able to hold some last minute strategy sessions just to talk about anything that may have popped up prior to the meetings.
Yeah. So, Sandra, how long have you been doing this as the delegate liaison?
I've been doing this since 2019.
Okay. So, all right. What have you learned the most about this latest group of delegates that, boy, this group is on top of its game? I'm sure all the delegates are past the years.
Yeah, this was such an incredible group. And one of the things that I really appreciate about the viewpoint of our leadership at Girl Scouts San Diego is we are really focused on putting girls in the delegate role. So overall, in the 975 delegates from across the nation, about 30% were girls. And from San Diego, we actually had closer to 50% be girls. We had 5 of our 12 delegates were girl voting members in order to give them that aspect and that opportunity to show their leadership and be a voting member in this real life democratic process. And having that number of girls in that space was an incredible opportunity, because even as I read through the proposals, listening to their viewpoints gave me new perspective. I've been with Girl Scouts San Diego for a number of years, and hearing directly from the girls themselves where they're coming from on these things gives you a whole different viewpoint and different perspective.
Now, did I hear this correctly? 30% are girls? Okay.
Yes. So of the 975 from across the country, 30% are girls and about 70% are adults.
Okay, I was going to say. Okay,
Yes.
But they're women, correct?
Women.
Thank
Women
you
or men.
Oh,
Men
okay.
can be delegates.
Did not know.
Any adult Girl Scout member.
Okay, explain. Okay, so last I checked, there's no men Girl Scouts. Am I wrong on that?
There's no youth members who are we can have
Interesting.
adults, adult males are welcome to be part of our organization and take
Shame
on
on me for not knowing
leadership
this.
and
Did you know that, Neville?
Yeah.
Thank you, Neville.
Yeah.
Okay, he said it with disdain. And
No. I said it very quietly.
And you're a host
No-
of a
no
show.
disrespect.
Neville is a great example of that.
I told you I was man enough to be a Girl Scout.
Yeah.
I brought that up earlier.
Listen,
Come on,
I was
man.
a charter member of the San Diego Women's Foundation, the very first male to join.
See, there
So
you
I'm
go.
Very
You
proud of myself
got-
on that.
right on.
Okay, well, thank you. I've
Yeah.
learned something, as I
Yeah.
always do on these podcasts. I'll start with you on this, and we'll go around the room. Elle, you, of course, in some ways, all you guys are spokespeople for the Girl Scouts, especially in your leadership role. If you are approached by a mom whose kid is coming of Girl Scout age, what would you do to talk to that mom about why this is a smart move for that daughter to be a Girl Scout?
Well, I would tell them firsthand about my wonderful experience in Girl Scouts and how I've grown up with the program. And that's something I'm very grateful to have done. And growing up, something I didn't have necessarily in my service unit was an older Girl Scout who was involved and was a national delegate. So just to understand that if that situation ever happened to me, and it has, just to be genuine about my experience and how it's so positive. I've made new friends, I've kept the old, I've learned how to be an entrepreneur, and I've learned all these other life skills along the way, which is something I'm very grateful for.
No, that's great. How about you, Annette? You're now going to convince someone that their daughter should absolutely be a Girl Scout.
Well, I would tell them it's the one place in the world I feel truly and completely myself. I'm surrounded by not other Girl Scouts, but my sisters, genuinely true sisters. If I ever meet a Girl Scout on the street and they tell me I'm a Girl Scout without their vest, automatically my sister. This program, you can tell that they care, that it's made for you, from you. They're so loving, and it genuinely gives you that community, that bond, those experiences that will last a lifetime and open so many doors.
Well, Sandra, it's quite obvious why these two were delegates, and I'm sure the other 10 make sense. I mean, well-spoken, lucid, I think they should take over the Spotlight show. What do you think, Neville?
Yeah.
Yes, right now?
I will release my chair effective immediately.
Well, Sandra, listen, first of all, kudos to you and to certainly Elle and Annette and their 10 colleagues in this aspect of it. And now, when do you start getting ready for the next convention? Are you starting now? I mean, it's not going to be for 3 more years, but when do you start getting ready for some of the proposals and the thoughts?
Yeah, we are really already starting to get ready. So we are doing deep dive debriefs into what occurred at this one that we just went to, and starting to already talk about what we would want to see on the agenda for 2029. We will dive into some of those topics with our members to see what tracks and what would make the most impact. But we are already starting to get ready for 2029.
So somebody wants to know more about the Girl Scouts, about being a delegate or just joining, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, sdgirlscouts.org is our website, and on all social media at SD Girl Scouts.
Okay, Neville, as a very proud executive committee member of the Girl Scouts Board of Directors in San Diego, do you need more board members?
We're always curating and thinking about succession planning and making sure we're representative of the entire community. So yes, there's a lot of cool women that are in San Diego, and there's even a program that we have every year called Cool Women that honors and affirms them. Nice. So if you're a cool woman, you've heard the show, you got inspired by these young women, reach out.
And you can be a cool guy and be on the board with Neville as well, correct, Neville?
Sure.
Well, Sandra, Elle, and Annette, thank you so much for coming in, sharing some great content. As Neville knows, we love having Girl Scouts San Diego on a periodic basis. There's so much content to share what you've done, not just with the delegation and the National Convention, but everything you do for us folk living in San Diego County is just phenomenal and will continue to be and very impactful. Thank you so much. And Neville, it's always a good day when I see you next to me on the co-host seat. And to our audience, we hope you enjoyed this edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Podcast, nation's longest running community podcast.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.